Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back, it's Jordan here. Today we're going to be working on another LEGO City project. There's quite a few on the go, and recently I finished building the double modular buildings, which are inspired by the police station. There's a couple different things that I could do today. I was thinking maybe we should double up the jazz club. Unfortunately, I can't continue working on the bicycle lane just because the dark azure bricks have yet to arrive. Luckily, those are on order, and so are the 1x2 tiles that are required to finish off the tiling here in the amusement park. Speaking of the amusement park, I should probably get on upgrading these buildings over here because I want to turn them into Disney-inspired modular buildings. And now that the silly heads are gone, I have all of these drawers which are open for the taking, so we could do some part sorting. I sort of want to build this set too, but I'm probably going to leave that for another day as I want to work on a city project. So as you already know, based on the thumbnail and title of this video, I have selected to work on the train station which will service the ground line, and it's going to be built into these 3 platform coverings. It's going to be very similar to the Rays station. It's going to have the same design because why wouldn't it, right? That sort of makes sense, but it's going to go behind these residential buildings. We also built the dungeon in the platform coverings, and I just think that was a pretty cool project. I'm pretty stoked on adding another thing that's built into the platform coverings. Luckily, it's not going to be tailored specifically for going behind residential buildings. So for example, if I wanted to put modular buildings here eventually, then I could do that. It might even make more sense. But it doesn't really matter because whatever I build back here doesn't really interfere with the buildings in front because these sit on their own half base plates. So the first thing I have to do is just extract these 3 platform coverings. It's actually really easy. Just sort of remove this train track, pop off the cheese slope and the tile, and then each one can be removed individually. So with those removed, it reveals an issue that I already knew would be a problem, and that is the table legs. I'm not sure how I'm going to address that problem because this train station is going to service that train track, right? So no matter what, there has to be table legs. So maybe this thing should be smaller. Maybe it shouldn't span 3 base plates, but this train right here is super long. So it makes sense that it spans 3 base plates. And I just think that bigger is better in that scenario. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with those table legs. Maybe I could get away with shifting this one behind that platform covering and shifting this one over here or something behind that Lego beam. Maybe I could get away with that. So maybe I should just build it as if I don't care about those. But also when you look through the train station, you're going to see some of the back table legs. I need table legs somewhere. This thing can't span on its own, and I don't think I'll be able to connect these 2 pieces of wood. There's lots of table legs because I built these tabletops that sit on top of my main Lego tables using different segments of wood, right? Rather than using one long one because it'd be impossible to bring in here. So that's why there's so many legs under there. So I'm just trying to figure out how I could do that. I know that I could have screwed a piece of wood into the wall, into the studs, and then this could have sat on top of that. Then I would only need front bracing table legs, but I didn't do that. And I'm definitely not going to remove all of this stuff to make that change. So I guess I'm just going to have to figure it out. Maybe 3 base plates or 30 inches is just a bit aggressive. Maybe it should only be 2 base plates or 20 inches. And it could start here and then go on this one because I don't think there's a table leg behind there. So then I wouldn't have to move any table legs. It could be behind the Simpsons house and behind that Creator 3-in-1 there, or I could just shift these around to make sure there's nice access there. And then you could take the train from over here, and then you can transfer to the ground line. I think that would be pretty cool. But maybe I'll just do it 20 inches. Maybe it doesn't have to be a massive train station because this is 20 inches, and that one's already pretty big. Could you imagine if it was bigger? Yeah, it'd be pretty cool, but maybe it doesn't need to be that big. And then I wouldn't have to worry about those table legs. Is this a video about table legs or train stations? Oh my gosh, let's bring those over to my desk and get building. First things first, build a 64 by 32 stud mills plate. Thing is a beast. I decided it would be best just to come up with a basic layout for the train station, so I did that using some of the 1x12 arches. I've got 5 on either side, and those space really nicely. It's the exact same spacing as the Rays train station, and they're supported by stacks of 1x3 bricks. There's actually 8 of them there, and I think that's a nice height. I know it's ridiculously big, when you put a minifigure there, but that's going to allow us to see into the train station when it's underneath that raised platform. So this is actually the front of it. Minifigures will be able to walk up and then enter through any of these arches. I want to keep it an open face because why would I close it off? If it's a solid wall, you won't be able to see anything. Then you may as well just keep it like that. So I've decided to use 5 of the arches on either side. And then I just match the arches on this side here because this is where they're going to be able to board the train. So I think that basic layout is going to work. Now, something is going through my mind and it involves the other train station, which is the same size. So what I could do is merge the 2 train stations. I could very easily just dissect this one here and put it on top of the ground line. Unfortunately, they would not be able to be in this location because the train is actually curving as it makes its way through that tunnel. And I specifically built this one to be close to the zoo, and I just think it makes more sense because at the time I didn't really want this to be behind the residential buildings, even though I'm building a ground line one for behind the residential buildings. But I wanted it to be close to the zoo, so I sort of tailored it for that, and I also tailored it to sit on top of the tunnel because it's a great support, and it actually supports the whole raised station because I built 2 big walls. And the left wall actually has the staircase built right into it. And there's a newspaper stand on the end there. So I specifically built it using the tunnel plate for structural reasons and also for location reasons as well. So I can't really, merge the 2 train stations in this position. So I don't really want to do it for that reason, but I also want to do it because it makes sense. But I'm sort of leaning toward just building 2 separate stations just based on the location, and also because we'll just have more going on in these raised platform coverings in general if I split the 2 train stations. There's always so much to think about when planning a Lego city, especially when you're like specifically building things for specific spots. Like, for example, this train station and the way it's built can't move around. Like, it's not flexible at all, whereas modular buildings can move around. And a lot of the other things that I've built can move around as well. But this one here is built specifically for this area, for its location, for the tunnel support. So it's going to be hard to merge the 2 train stations with that in mind. So I think I've just got to stick with the original plan. Built the sidewalls, all the bricks are nicely interlocked. And then we also have the columns here. I've actually expanded them out to 2x3 studs, just because these are actually going to have to support like the large retaining wall there. Wasn't too worried about using masonry on the sidewalls just because you're not really going to see that, but the masonry on the columns looks pretty good and it sort of matches the other platform coverings. And I also brought it back, like in the last clip I had it forward 4 studs, but when I put it like this, it actually lines up with the other platform coverings, so it just sort of makes more sense. So there's a lot of exposed studs here, and we got to fully tile it off. Of course, we're going to use the same pattern found in the other train stations. That is 2x2 light gray, and also 1x1 sand blue from the pab wall. All right, the tiling is done. How much better does that look? And of course, this is going to go right up against houses. Like, houses are going to be right there. So we left these 3 studs open. And thinking hedges, just like the amusement park. The hedges are 12 plates tall, just like the ones in the amusement park, but these ones here sit in these planters, and they're built using nougat brackets, nougat plate, nougat tile, and then also some reddish brown plate. Then I started adding some arches into the wall, and that's going to support the raised train track. Now, the classic platform coverings use the 8 wide arches that look like that. Of course, I'm not going to be able to reuse those. Like, it would be easy just to peel this off like I did right there and slap that on top, but that doesn't really make any sense because the arches up top should match the arches below. So essentially, I'm going to take all of the parts from these and then rebuild the wall using the larger 12 wide arches. And then, of course, it can't just be tiled off in here, so we've got to add some interior details as well. All right, the new train station is now complete. It looks pretty good with the other platform coverings. I was surprised to find out that I actually made it the right height. So the design is similar to the other platform coverings, but the arches are larger. They are the 12 wide arches, and the columns that support those arches are 3 wide and actually work some masonry bricks into those columns. And then up top here, there are 3 of the other arches that support the trail on top. Whereas in the other ones, it is only 2 just to match the column width. So this one here just had to be upgraded to 3, but it looks pretty consistent when it's placed with those other platform coverings. Also, the train track has been installed on top of the other arches. There's a whole bunch of interior details that can be seen through the archways out front here. And I think the most exciting interior detail is the Starbucks. Also, the minifigures really bring it to life as well. I really like this guy right out front. We can get a better shot of the hedges and their planter from this side. And also there was a glass railing that was added to the exposed stud. The large open wall became a great spot for advertisements. We've got Soap and Studs, cleans it all from the Brickbank modular building. Then we got Biff and Sully's Construction Co. and also Hoopers. So we actually just took these sticker/print elements and framed them a little bit, putting some lights above and some of the fence elements below, just sort of giving them a slight upgrade. On the center on this side, there's 2 benches that are built using some connector elements, brackets, and tiles. Found this nifty sticker element in the LEGO Extras pack. It looks like this train line goes to a lot of different places. Travelers can see that sign right when they walk into the train station, and it sits beside the electronic ticket dispenser. This is the exact same design from the other train station. It uses all sorts of snot bricks, modified plates, and tiles. Also, this little slope that I found on the pab wall. Wanted to use something different, but I guess it gets the job done. And of course, it is double-sided. And up against the column there is a trash and recycle bin. On this side, there's another bench. You can see that I have some Starbucks stickers. Got those a long time ago. My wife actually got them for me for my birthday. Some of them are starting to peel off those cylinders, but look at this guy. He's really enjoying that fresh Starbucks coffee. There's some more sticker elements found throughout the train station, such as the 2 Wi-Fi signs and also the station sign. And the most exciting thing about this train station is the fact that there is a Starbucks. We've got a sign mounted right above that arch there, and also another sign mounted to this column. This fully custom Starbucks is loaded full of details, and the stickers really help take it to the next level. Thank you, Jose, once again for that amazing birthday present. Pretty cool. Check it out. There's a menu back there, another Starbucks logo, and this thing is just loaded full of custom details. And the nice thing about it is it's removable as it sits on its own plate, so it's just held in place by a few studs. Inspiration for this Starbucks was taken from the little mini Starbucks that you can find in pretty much anywhere, I guess, in like airports or in Safeways. They have them in a grocery store called Safeway. This is a pretty neat little display here for sure. So we've got 2 different service counters. There's one right here, and this one here sort of services the exterior of the train station. It's all based on reddish brown with a tan tile top, and the reddish brown windows on the bottom here are sideways mounted, and when you look through those you can actually see some delicious treats, and they match up perfectly with the curved version of the window which was found on the pab wall. It just gives this Starbucks an interesting shape. On this side you can see some delicious treats on display through that car windscreen. I think most Starbucks have something like that, and then they have like the little bunkers in front where they have like little protein packs or I don't know, cheese or drinks or smoothies, and you can just sort of grab it and then check out with that. A couple coffees on the counter there, and of course a smartphone. And just behind the counter you can see 2 baristas that are having a wild hair day, and there are some nice espresso/coffee machines back there as well. And behind that service counter is a row of fridges, and it looks like they left one of those fridges open. And the way you get that effect is just using one of the minifig mounts, like the little trans clear pieces that put it at that interesting angle, and it's actually a snot brick. Then the menu above that, and also the angled sort of roof/awning, which has lights built into it. Uses plates and also tiles, and it's just held in spot there by some connectors. So you get that really nice angle, and you can see some of the snot work on the back here, such as the sideways mounted masonry brick right there below the sign, or behind the sign I should say. And then this element right here is just holding that large menu piece in place, or it's posting it I should say. It's got some tan in the core and then some dark brown on the exterior just to try and match the color of the sticker element. I really like this train station. The fact that it's just built into the raised platform coverings is so cool. I love the added details such as the benches, the ticket booth, the hedges, the Starbucks of course, the garbage cans, and also the advertisements. It has been decided that the train station is actually going to go behind the Simpsons house and the Apple Tree house, so it's actually centered between the 2 Lego sets there. And the yards have actually been reduced by 6 studs each. Then I was able to tile this off with the sand blue border so it sort of matches the tiling. I know it's sort of hidden and I should probably add lights. It wouldn't be that hard to add lights. What I could do is just remove all of the platform coverings, order the Amazon LED strip lights, and run LED strip lights on the underside of the table all the way along. Then put all of the platform coverings back, and then I would be able to light up the raised train station, the ground line train station, and also the dungeon. So I've put a passenger train there. You can sort of see it. It's hard to get the camera in there and have a look. It's sort of hidden behind these houses. And I mentioned like potentially moving modular buildings here earlier. No, I can't do that because then this would be completely blocked and you wouldn't see the train station at all. These things are like hidden Easter eggs and hidden gems. Like you just got to know that they're there. You can't really see inside, specifically this one here because it's actually below like that raised train line. You just got to know that that detail is there, I guess. It's sort of a shame hiding all of those nice details in the raised platform coverings, but I don't really have any other options right now. The city's pretty maxed out and I can't really add any other train stations anywhere in the city unless I like elevated one in the middle of the road there. So that's why I decided to put one inside the platform covering. I think it's a nice little hidden detail. I should probably put some fresh batteries in the trains and get them fired up, but I'm gonna make an excuse. I've got a booming headache. I've been building Lego all day and filming this video. And also I've been just doing some dad stuff because Jose and the grandmas went to the Barbie movie. I'm sure they're having a great time, so that's good. But I just helped the kids, like I fed them and played with them for a long time and watched after them and put them to bed, and now it's the end of my day and I've got to edit this video and I'm just a little bit exhausted. So yeah, am I happy with the train station? I'm really happy with the look of it. It's sort of concealed underneath the raised platform there, like in the platform coverings. I'm not too happy about that just because you can't really see those amazing details. But my hands are sort of tied. I don't really know where to put another train station. So that's the only place that I could really put it. At least we know those details are there. I think that's pretty cool. Some lights would definitely benefit it, that's for sure. The city is sort of a mess right now. I've got to do some cleanup work everywhere just because this project with the bicycle lanes exposed a bunch of base plates and just sort of created a mess. And also I've got to realign some of the curved slopes on the sidewalks in front of those houses because some of the houses moved around, so now all the curved slopes are misaligned with their driveways, so I've got to clean that up. And there's a bunch of other stuff as well. But this is where I wrap up my day. I hope you enjoyed my little vlog here of me creating that train station for the ground line integrated into the raised platform coverings. Thank you so much for coming on by. Please remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Farewell.